Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Hen and this is Crafting from the Broom Closet. And today we are making garlands. We are still doing the collaboration hashtag ABC April 2025. And today we are on the letter G and here we have a very simple garland. It's a bit like making paper angels when you was a kid. So this isn't the only garland we're going to learn to do today, because I'm teaching no one anything here. But garlands can be used to decorate your journals, can be used to decorate things that go into your journals. So this is what we're going to do today. So we start off with a strip of paper. And then we fold it. And I'm going to try and make them roughly square, but it doesn't have to be. But you do need to make sure that when you're folding it, you're pretty much on that line there. So try and make it as square as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as you are on folding all the line, you're doing a concertina fold. So back, forward, backwards, forward, backwards. And obviously, now I've got to this bit, that isn't long enough. So I'm going to just chop that off, because I don't want any extra bits. Okay, so get rid of that. And then we draw whatever we're cutting. Hopefully this pencil will show up. So I'm going to do the flower again, just because it's quite a simple thing. But what we want to do is make sure when we get to these sides that we don't cut away. So we need to not make it to a point at the sides. So if I start at this side, I'm going to do like a petal shape here. And see, I'm leaving a little bit there that we won't cut off. And these do not have to be perfect. You can see my flowers are not perfect there. Then I go up here, here. Oh, this is, I may have messed up a little bit here. I'm going to have to, oh no, we can work it out. So this one needs to not go off the edge, remember? So I'm leaving a little bit where it'll be attached when I cut here. These flowers, this flower is absolutely awful. Please draw your flowers better than I can. But there you go. So, I mean, it doesn't really look like a flower, but it'll do. And what we do is then we cut around the edge through all of the layers. But remember, we don't want to cut this bit off here and this bit off here. So let's start. I'm going to start with this one to make, because I left such a small attachment there. So start with that one. I'm using my kitchen scissors. Obviously, if you've got better scissors, use them. But the whole idea of this A to Z is I want to make sure I'm using stuff that most people will have in their house. So this is just packaging paper that came in a parcel that was delivered. But you can use any paper. And I'll show you that in a minute when I do the next project. So this one is not an edge that we have to keep joined, because there is no edge join there. Follow the lines as best as you can. I'm not doing a very good job because I'm just not. Is what it is. But particularly when you get to the edge where there is a fold, make sure you do not cut through it. Okay. So you need to make sure the fold stays attached. And I can rub the pencil lines out here. I did draw with a pencil. Hopefully it was dark enough that you could see the pencil. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if you don't go along the lines. Obviously, if you draw with a pen, which I did when I did that one, you'd want to keep more within the lines. This is so simple. If you ever made paper angels as a kid, you know how to do this. Right, so we're back over to a joined edge. So again, you need to make sure that you leave an attachment there. So I'm leaving that much of attachment. Hopefully it's enough that it's not going to be going out of the way. Just move all my bits that I've just cut out of the way. So, as I said, you can rub off the pencil lines. If I can find where I put the rubber. There it is. Rub off. Oh, be very gentle so you don't curl it up like I'm doing. Preferably cut off the pencil lines because I'm making a right mess of that. And maybe do them more gently than I did as well. Draw them more gently. But yeah, so there you go. Rub off the pencil lines. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. And then when you open it out, you should have a garland of flowers. How did I do the circles? Well, quite simply. I got a bit of card. I mean, you could cut little circles or blobs or any shapes by hand, but I got my trusty old hole punch. One, two. It's a good way of using up the little scrappy bits of paper as well. How many have I got? 5 this time. Yeah. 3, 4, 5. There you go, my 5 little circles. Get your glue stick. Obviously you need to flip these over. Oh, maybe open up my glue stick. I'm going to flip this over so you haven't got the pencil lines showing. There you go. Because the probability is that you're going to stick this down anyway. In fact, that would be my plan, rather than hang it loose. I'm putting it on the glue stick and then taking it off, just because it's such a small area to try and glue. And then you place it down. Really easy. I'm going to make this a short video today because I'm recording very late. So hopefully it won't be too long. Because the longer the video, the longer it takes to update, or upload even. And I've been having some major technical issues with my uploading the last few days. So there we go. If you have trouble picking up, lick the back of your finger, pop it down. So this bit of paper that they cut the circles out of even, is actually a piece of paper, or a spare piece of paper from what I'm going to use for the next bit, which you may recognise from an earlier video. So there you go. Circles all down, she says. There you go. You have a little paper garland. Simple as that. You might want to cut bigger circles. These are very small for the size of the garland. But yeah, so there you go. And how can we use this in a scrapbook? So imagine this is my imagine this is my scrapbook page. This is quite a nice pattern. I might actually cut this out for something in the future. You can pop your garland down like that and have it as a decorative thing like that, and I would glue that in place so it's not catching on things and tearing. Or you could put it along the side of your page like that. So you can use it in all sorts of ways. You can use a shorter garland and add it to a card or something, or at the top of a pocket, which we'll be learning about in a future video. But yeah, you could use them in all sorts of ways. So let's have another look at different types of garland. But before that, I'm going to have a glug of my tea. I made it a bit stronger this time. That's much more how I like it. So, having to put that back there, just because my camera does not like the plain background, and it goes glitch, 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 which I have hopefully edited out, if I remember to. Nice cup of tea. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, so I've got, you remember this paper? That's what the circles are cut out of. As you can see, I've divided it into 9 squares. It doesn't have to be 9 squares. It can be in many shapes as you want. But the reason I've done this is fold it and fold it and fold it and fold it, because I want to cut through all the layers at the same time to make the same shape. And this time I'm going to do a heart. And I'm actually going to use it on the diagonal. If your scissors are strong enough, it should cut through all these layers. If not, you might need to do a few layers at a time. And I probably won't even use all 9 hearts. It's just that this is the sort of size I wanted it to be. So we're cutting, and this time you don't need to leave the edges joined, because you're just basically cutting a heart freehand. You could have drawn it. I should have drawn it. I'm probably going to regret not drawing it. But hey ho. Free flow. Nope. It is joined there. Don't want it to be joined there. Okay. I mean, they're not the greatest hearts, but I quite like them. Skewiffy hearts. So you can either have them all facing the same way or a different way. And like I said, I'm probably not going to use all of them because that's quite a lot. I could probably make 2 decent sized garlands out of this. Especially for the size of the card we're using. I've noticed that one is gone a bit square, so I'm going to get rid of that one. That was where I wasn't folded over properly, so that one. Okay. That's my fault. I don't need them. Another square one. I think 5 is going to be enough. Anyway. So how do we make this into a garland? Piece of string. I'm going to swap it around. I want it... So this is going to be the back. So I think I want it so I have the red facing forward in 3 places and the white facing forward in 2. Just because I think that's a nicer combination. Oh, yeah, that's an issue. Because that heart's the wrong way round now. Have I got a heart? Right, there we go. There you go. Right, so this is the back. Okay, and we simply get a piece of string. Just a little bit of embroidery thread I'm using here. Make sure we place them roughly the same distance apart. In fact, I might have them almost touching. Because like I said, it doesn't have to be huge, because your donor page is not going to be huge. In this case, I think I'm going to have them almost touching. Place your string there. Now, as I already have this, I'm going to cut little strips out of this. Because you could just glue that down like that, but it probably wouldn't hold. So what I'm going to do, get rid of that, don't need that. Just little strips. How many do I need? 5. So, again, these don't have to be perfect. You won't even see them. So it doesn't even need to be that big. We just need a little strip. So I can cut these in half. I want them slightly apart, actually. Slightly more apart than I've put them. Because I do want it to look like it is a garland and that you can see the string in between. See? You get to faff about. There you go. Like that. Try to make them as even as possible. Now let's get our glue stick. We'll put in a bit of glue on each end, I'll choose that, that's a double layer. Put a piece of glue on each end of this little strip. Bit on that end. Bit on that end. And just stick it down over the string. Like so. And we'll do that with all 5. You just need a bit of glue on each end so that the string is flowing freely. Sort of. Oh. I had it all laid out nicely and then I mess it up. Put the glue stick down. I can't do things with the glue stick in my hand. So, like I said, you won't see this from the back because you'll have it glued down. One of my hairs. I don't know about you ladies, but I lose hair on a daily basis. Sometimes big clumps. It's what happens when you become middle-aged, I guess. Although I think I've always lost hair. Because hair just falls out. It's designed to do that. There we go. One more. I didn't want the double layer. And both of the bits that I had left were a double layer. Because it is off an envelope, remember? That's what this started off as, was an envelope. And pop that on there. And like I said, when you turn it over, you won't even see those bits of paper. Let's get back our sample of the journal page again. And show how you can use it. Obviously, when you're putting it down, make sure they're all flipped the right way around. And again, you can glue it down. You could, with this one, just glue it. Oh, sorry, too high up. Oh, you can't really see that very well. Let me get a darker thing to use as a background. I mean, this is not going to be a journal page, obviously. So you could actually, with this one, you could just leave it so you're only sticking the top ones and have it loose, like so. So it's dangling. You could put it in an angle, like so, and have it going across the page, diagonal. I probably wouldn't use it down the side of the page. I don't think it works as well. Like I said, make sure the hearts are all facing the right way round when you stick them down. There we go. See? There you go. So that's that one. I'll put that back down because, like I said, my camera will go jiggly jiggly. Pop that back down. So it tries to find something to focus in on, and it can't focus in on the map. But because of my table that I'm using at the moment being quite light, it really doesn't show up the projects I'm working on very well. So hence why I put the green mat down. More tea, yum. So now I'm going to try and make something out of this. I could, if you look, I've got little petal shapes. I could cut all them individual petal shapes out. I'm not going to. We are going to go back to the basic flowery pattern, but we're going to do it a bit different. So it's like, this is going to be more of a combination of the one we did with the hearts and the flowers, but a little bit more pizzazz. So I'm folding this paper up. Obviously it's not perfectly straight there, It's got a rough edge. And I'm making several layers. Hopefully your scissors will be strong enough to go through this. I am gonna cut through. I am gonna draw, and hopefully a better flower than before. This one we don't need to worry about the edges being joined. So let me draw hopefully a better flower than the last one. Let's just do a 5-petal flower. That's not going to be a 5-petal flower, is it? Oh no, it needs to be a 5-petal flower, because otherwise it becomes that weird shape again. So I just need to bring that in a bit further, I think. Oh, it still ended up like being a weird shape. Okay, let's try that again. Cause that looks more like Patrick Starfish. Look, the good thing about doing it in pencil is you can go again. That'll do. That'll do. And then what we're going to do is cut this out, like we did with the hearts. I've gone through quite a few layers this time. So I don't know how many we're going to get, because I didn't really see how many I folded it to. And hopefully I'm not going to lose any of these petals, because I haven't folded it accurately. But we'll see. See what happens. This can be done with any paper. Tissue paper would work well with this, actually. This particular one. Oh, it slid. It slid. Go back. Right, okay. Remove all them bits that I don't need anymore. And we should have several flowers roughly the same. Yeah, we do. Cool. Quite a few, actually. Oh, they're conjoined. And so are they. So you can do the flower garland the same way. Oh, we did do a flower garland. Ignore me. Oh, see that one? I've lost the bottoms off, and that one I have as well. So they're not going to be any good. Oh, quite a few of them I have. Okay, that's fine. We can use them in a different project at some point. So in this case, I'm going to do it a little bit different. So I'm going to sandwich my flowers, my petals. So I'm going to do this. So we're going to have the flowers going, you know, so the petals are in different places. Okay. So what we do is we will put the string in between the two layers. I think I want it that way round. Yes, I do. I want it so the pink one's at the front. The plain is at the front. You could do it, just have them both facing the same way, like that. So we'll have the string between. You could, if you had cut them accurately, unlike me, have sandwiched them so they're exactly like that. And you could do that with the heart as well. So the back and front, the string is in between. But I quite like the idea of the flowers, that we have them go like that, so that you've got petals that are not lined up. Why can't I get it to work? Because I didn't draw this accurately. There you go. That'll do. And then what you do is you put the string in between each layer of flower. Like so. So if we line up these first. Should we do, let's do 4. Okay. Place a piece of string on the top, like so. You take your other flower, you put glue on the back, in the middle. You don't need to do the petals, in the middle. And then you place it however you want it, like that, over the string. And it just gives your flowers a bit of a 3D element to them. Like so. Okay, so you've got a bit of a 3D element to the flowers. Then you could put a centerpiece in. You could use the red. Shall I use the red? I'm trying to think what else I have got. Let's have a look in my boxes. Oh, do you know what? I quite like this colour. So I'm going to cut out some random circular sort of shapes. So I don't think the hole punch. Let's have a look with the hole punch if it was going to be big enough. I can't even get to the pink from with the hole punch. Why can't I get to the pink with the hole punch? Should be able to. No. Let's cut. Let's cut so I can get to it. I'll try it with the hole punch. See what they look like first. So this is just scrap paper off this picture. So you can use anything, like I said. Turn the hole punch upside down so I can see what I'm punching. And let's have a look what it looks like with a tiny little circle in the middle. Because I think this is going to be too small for these flowers. Not going to glue it on yet. So just... yeah, not happy with that. I think it's a little bit too small. So we'll just make circle-ish type shapes with our scissors. Don't have to be perfect. You can obviously draw around something. So, for example, I could draw around... let me see if I can find something smallish, circular, to draw around. See, with the 5p to be too big. No, see, that could look quite good. So I could draw around a 5p to give me a more accurate circle to cut out. And still make a mess of the circle. If you've got a compass, you know, the thing that you used at school for drawing circles, you could use that to draw your circles. I am going within the line, so I don't have to roll it out. I think. There's a little bit of line on there still. You know, then you can glue your centre on. I quite like that. I think it's a little bit too big. So instead, I'm just going to cut out some freehand circles. I do think that the 5p is a little bit too big, but that's just because of the size of flowers I did. So let's get rid of that point there. They don't have to be perfect. There you go. I like that better. So let's find a bit more of that page because I've used up pretty much all of that part. But yeah, there's a fair amount of the pink on here. I say pink. It's a deep dusky pink, I guess. Obviously, this way the circles are not all going to be the same size, but that's fine. It doesn't have to be. Flowers are not perfect in nature. They're all slightly different. If you look at two daisies next to each other, they're not going to be identical. Okay, another one. Might be able to get two more out of this, probably not. We'll see. Just keep going round. Oh, that's not a circle at all, is it? It's a little bit better. So we need one more. Not going to be able to get it out of that piece, but I can get it out of this piece. There's a fair amount left there. And if you notice, they're all different shades because the paper I cut it out of had different shadows and stuff. So although the background is the same colour, it has different shadows. There we go. That one's much bigger, but it's fine. It is fine. It is what it is. And then we just glue them on. That's not my glue. I don't know why I have my makeup there. No, I don't know where I put the glue. Oh, it's right there. Covered in bits of paper I've cut out because I didn't put the lid on. Remember to put your lid on. Again, because it's quite a small area, I'm putting it on the glue stick rather than the... You do get sticky fingers, but glue stick rubs off easy enough. Pop that on. These are very simple. These are what I would call kiddie crafts. Something you could do with the kids. But yeah, something pretty. But it looks quite pretty. And it's got that more of a 3D element because you've got the two different layers. And how would that look in a page? Let's have a look. There you go. So there you go. So that is it today. So we've done garlands. We have the one where we just did the shape and a tab at the back to hold the string on. There, we have the 3D, more 3D version. And then we have this one, which is more like the old-fashioned angels, paper angels that we used to make as a kid. There you go. So garlands was my letter G. And tomorrow is ABCD day H. And tomorrow we are doing hidden paper clips. Goodbye and thank you for watching.